Alright, so we have our maple tree here, and now we're going to make some leaves for it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go Shift A and add a mesh and a plane. Alright, and so now we're going to go into Edit Mode tab, U for Unwrap. We're going to unwrap that, go into UV Editing, we're going to go to Image, Open Image, and we're going to open our image with our leaves. They have an alpha channel in them. And what I did with this was I actually just took some leaves, brought them inside, put them on a blue mat, and just took a picture of them, a couple different sets of them. And then I just broke off a twig of a maple tree here and just did the same thing with that. And then I brought them into like Photoshop. I think it was GIMP or possibly, actually no, I believe it was Motion that I used for a program, but any of those will work. And I just layered the picture, so this is how it turns out it looks like. Alright, so we're going to take this, alright, you can see it down here, and it looks like it has alpha channel on it and everything else and whatnot. That's all great and fine. However, we're going to have to change a few things, because it's not going to look like that once we put a material to it. Because if we go to the game engine right now, let's just to show you. There we go. So we start a game and it has alpha channel. Everything looks all happy-go-lucky. All right. But as soon as we add a new material to it, and we go back and start that up, then it doesn't work. So what we're going to do, go back to default. Alright, and on the square, we added a material to it. We're going to go down, we're going to hit face textures with alpha. We're going to click on transparency. And just for kicks and giggles, we're going to take the specular intensity and drop that down to about 0.05-ish. Right, and then if we go start game, it still doesn't show up. Then we have to, so yeah, it's not going to show up. We have to go to texture here and then go in the game mode, and then it shows up. Alright, so now let's take this, make sure you're in object mode so you don't move the center around. We're going to move that in just a minute, but we don't really want that to move right now. Let's zoom in for right now. Okay, so let's take this, let's rotate it on the Y90 just for fun. That looks interesting. But it does go away. Right, I just saw this strange color, thought that was kind of odd. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take this, we're going to hit Shift D. Actually, sorry, take that back. We're going to stay in object mode. We're going to hit Shift D to duplicate it. Right, and then we're going to go into edit mode. We're going to go to mesh, normals, and we're going to go flip normals. Okay, so now we can see it from both sides. Okay, and hit tab again to go into object mode, and hold shift and right click both of these panes. It's a little bit hard to do because they're one right on top of the other, but you should be able to, and you can check, you can grab, and if you got them both, then when you move it, it'll move both of them. Alright, so once you have both of those panes, you're going to hit Control J, and that will bind them, and so now they're one pane. Okay, now we're going to go Shift D to duplicate both of those again, and we're going to rotate that on the Z-axis ever so slightly, and we're going to basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to match up, rotate X, match up the two sticks, two sticks. That's good. Just trying to match up the two like beginning points right here, basically. So you go into game mode and you can check and see how it looks. You can move it around and then go back, and keep checking and seeing what it looks like. If it's something that you really want, it will work better if your initial stick or whatever is straight. Mine was a little crooked. It was bent slightly, and so I'm having a bit of a hard time getting it to look the way that I want it to, although it's getting pretty close. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I think I'm going to go with that. So what we do here is shift and right click, so you have both of those selected, and then go Control J, and so it's just one unit again. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to go tab to go into edit mode. And what we want to do is we want to bring the little dot right here, we want that to be at the bottom of the two intersecting twigs for the beginning of our branch. And that way when we start doing our motion, we have the leaves blowing in the wind. They'll be bowing from the beginning point and not like from the center, because that would just be weird if we're going to do any rotating or anything like that. Okay, so now we can just grab okay, now we can grab this and we can start placing it on the tree itself. Okay, and rotate it accordingly. And yeah, remember you can scale, however big or small or whatever you want. So that's what kind of looks like on the tree. And to make more, you just Shift D to duplicate it, and then move it around, scale it. And just keep doing that. So rotate Y. You don't have to go back and check every single time, see if it's working right or anything like that. That's just me. So yeah, I'll probably speed this process up a bit because this is going to take quite a while. Okay, so now we have all of our branches on here all set up nice and pretty, and that's pretty much all you need to do for the branches. I mean, mess with it and tweak it and whatnot, but that's pretty much all you need to do for those for right now. Next time we're going to put some motion into the tree, so we're going to be parenting a bunch of the objects together so they kind of come together as one uniformed object, and that way when you move it around you can move the whole thing, whereas right now if I was to grab this trunk, it would just be that. So I'm going to show you how to link them all together, and then we can individually move different parts of it to give it more of a full animated look. This is Kyle with 5 Minute Guide.